Hi there guys. I'd like to talk about Pathos Reels, how they work and how to look after them. Pathos gun reels are quite different to what we are quite used to in South Africa. Most of the reels that are available in South Africa, they've got that constant even drag, whereas the Pathos reels have basically an auto release type system. I'll go through the advantages of that, but let's get into the maintenance of these reels. So this is a 70-meter vertical reel. It's got 80 meters of 1.8 mil Dyneema. This is the handle that slides in and out like that. These things are really maintenance free. I've never ever had any issues with these. Absolutely bomb proof. And again, as normal, I just wash it with a hose pipe. That's like a tensioning system. It keeps some nice tension on the reel and keeps your line together. This is your drag nut, or it's not really a drag, it's more of like a locking nut. So essentially how this reel works is the line, the reels, you take up the tension on the line and then you lock the reel with this locking knob here. So when you shoot a fish and you are now heading to surface, the line will start pulling out, and the smallest bit of tension backs the tension off that lock, and then you've got free spool line going to surface. To recover that line, I recommend you back that off a little bit, and then you can wind your line in, get your tension on, and lock up the reel. One of the things that I want to point out with the use of this reel is if you start winding and this locking nut is close to the reel, what you actually end up doing is activating this lock, and you'll find that the retrieval gets tighter and tighter and tighter, and eventually you can't even get anywhere. So what happens is you need to release, you need to back this off again. Make sure you've got a nice gap there, and then retrieve your line and then lock it up. So that does happen from time to time. It's something just to be aware of. Okay, so what I wanted to show you, one of the maintenance items, or one of the things just to keep an eye on. This is obviously a vertical reel. Okay, this knob comes out, there's a spring in there. Inside here there's a O-ring that's glued into this. It's just an idea, keep an eye on that, make sure that it's always glued in and solid. If it does come loose, it can affect the efficiency of the system going to free spool. It doesn't happen, it's just a matter of keeping an eye on it. Okay, so here's the vertical reel, essentially the same principle. This is the 50-meter horizontal reel. I've got 80 meters of 1.5 mil Dyneema on there. The principle is the same. Again, you wind it up, you lock the spool in place, and then you've got basically your Dyneema is nice and under tension all the time. When you shoot a fish and you're heading to the surface, or just a fish adds a bit of resistance, this automatically goes onto free spool, and then you don't have that resistance. Obviously you can control the, the speed of the line coming out either by holding the Dyneema or just holding the spool. And again, just back it off a little bit, wind in your line and lock up, and that's it. Dyneema is nice and tight in place. Just to show you that O-ring inside here. There's also a spring underneath there. Okay, there's the O-ring there glued into the spool, and it's just one of those items, like I said, just keep an eye on, make sure it doesn't get away. Yeah, there's not much else to say about the maintenance side of these reels. What I would like to add though is how efficient these reels are. They are brilliant reels. These things are, when you're swimming up from the surface and you are got that resistance of that fish, it just free spools and you're on your way. It's a very, very safe system. Another big factor is shooting big game fish, big cuda, wahoo. If you're not 100% sure of that shot, if you get like a belly shot on a long shot or something like that, because the resistance is so low, the chance of you tearing out is way less. In fact, even if you get a good shot, because the resistance is so little, you just don't damage the flesh of the fish. So these are like fantastic reels. I really enjoy using them. I probably couldn't use anything else. They are really that good. So yeah, thanks again for watching. Yeah, that's just basically some tips on looking after your Pathos reels. Thanks.